How do you keep your relationship spicy and that romance and desire and connection there after you've been together for an extended period of time? And you may feel like this is you right now. Your relationship is just kind of dull. There's none of that romantic physical connection or that desire and that romance there. And every single person craves to feel sexy and desirable to their partner. And so today I want to talk about how your love languages actually tie in to having a healthy relationship and how to use your love languages in order to have more desire and more romance in your relationship with your partner. So this whole conversation was sparked by doing the 5 love languages quiz with my partner. We've been together for over 10 years now. We have 2 little kids, and with 2 little ones running around and being together for a long time, it's really easy to let your romance and your time together and that connection just kind of fall to the wayside. And I know if you're a busy parent, like you've been there too. So this video is for you. I actually took the 5 languages quiz to find out what are our love languages. I highly encourage you to go and take that quiz with your partner. It's totally free. You can go online, Google it. And one thing that's really awesome about taking the quiz is not only does it tell you your 5 love languages, but it actually breaks it down in percentages, which is something new. And for those of you that are familiar with Gary Chapman's work and the 5 love languages, it really does lay a nice foundation about what you crave, what you desire most, and that helps you actually feel connected to your partner, because we all have different needs and we like our needs to be met in very different ways. So here's the lowdown on my own personal relationship. I did not grow up with a lot of like hugging and physical connection. And so for me, I don't feel like I need that from a partner. And that shined through very heavily whenever I took my love languages quiz. So literally physical touch, I only need 3% of that in order to feel loved and connected to my partner. Now, my partner's results were quite a bit different. He actually, 40%, dang near half of his love language comes from physical connection, like physical activity. Like that's a whole lot different, 40% to 3%. So how do we make our relationship work, and how have we been together for 10 years when he constantly wants that reassurance and that connection, and I really don't need it? By the way, my number one was acts of service. And I think a lot of women can relate to that. And especially if you are a busy working woman or even have kids, that when somebody does something nice for you, it means a whole lot. Like, do you find that person more attractive after they do nice things for you or just volunteer to help out in some way? So we uncovered a lot when we took this love languages quiz, and it lays a really nice foundation for, what are you looking for from your partner? So I want to get into some advice for helping you have a healthy long-term relationship using the 5 love languages. So once you're able to identify what your partner needs and craves most, you can figure out what are some ways that you can add that in to your day in little doses that doesn't feel like you're not being genuine to who you are, but is actually able to satisfy the needs of your partner. Because when you're in a partnership, it's not only about it's not only about take, it's about give and take. So you have to be willing to step out of your comfort zone a little bit to do things that may not necessarily mean a lot to you, but can mean a lot to the other person. Being able to identify what some of those things are, and then you can look for little ways that you can incorporate those into your day. For my partner, the one that craves all the physical touch, it's not about sex and sexual connection all the time. Like, that's not the only way to have physical connection in a relationship. It's about walking by that person while they're drinking their cup of coffee and just slowly like grazing their back, or while you're standing there talking, to gently rest your hand upon their hand. And I guarantee you, all kinds of good hormones are going to surge through that other person's body, and they are going to automatically desire and feel more connected, and that romance is going to completely change. And why I encourage you to do this with your partner, if you're somebody that likes being able to have gifts, it doesn't have to be expensive gifts, but for your partner to realize like how much bringing you home a flower or how leaving you a little note can make all the difference and make you feel really appreciated and loved. That right there is growing that bond and that connection. So looking for just small opportunities to say, okay, my partner really craves and enjoys this. How can I be able to give that to them in order to work and build on my relationship with them? And I love being able to just take full on responsibility. So you want to have your partner involved as much as possible, but really be able to take control and do these things because you want to. Not because your partner wants to, not because I'm telling you to, but because you want to have a healthy relationship, a healthy marriage, and be able to stay connected with your partner in the long term. One key thing that is the foundation, and as a licensed counselor and doing individual therapy and therapy with couples, is finding out how much communication can either make or break a relationship. And I know you've heard this before, that communication is the foundation of all healthy relationships. And it really is. Because if you don't have that communication with your partner and you're not checking in with them and you're not knowing where each other is at, the more likely that you're going to feel disconnected. And over time, that is going to show up in multiple areas of your life. So here's a simple strategy and a tip that you can immediately start implementing is to look at your schedule. If you've watched my other videos, you know I am super big on schedules and making sure things are part of your routine. So if that is something that you personally struggle with, is just having a schedule and having a healthy routine and outline, I really want to encourage you to go down in the description and work on yourself first. I want to encourage you to go into the description and check out the 18-minute daily habits to health and wealth, because it will directly help you work on your overall organization and productivity, but intentionally help you work on your relationships as well. So I'm going to link that in the description. Being able to do check-ins, all right? So in these check-ins, this can be something that you do during the morning when you're having your coffee. It can be something that you do in the evenings while your partner is rubbing your feet and just checking in with the day. It's personally my favorite, the best time to do it and have conversation, and I'm totally engaged and listening because I want to keep getting my feet rubbed. So find something that's enjoyable for both of you and have that quiet time to just be able to check in. How was your day? What went well? What do we need to work on? And it doesn't have to be anything that's super heavy. It's just a light conversation. But that check-in, that communication is going to make a huge difference on helping you stay connected. If you have a family, I cannot encourage you enough to go in and have a weekly family meeting. These do not have to be long, but it's 10 to 15 minutes for each of you to pull out your schedules. What does our schedule look like this next week? Who's responsible for getting the kids from this event? What appointments do you have? Is there anything that's out of the norm? Like, what's our intention? Do we want to have a date night this week? Do we have an opportunity to steal away a few minutes here and there? That right there is going to be a huge relationship builder on helping you stay connected and be on the same page. Because when you are busy, you have a family, it is so easy just to let all the life and all the stressors and all the things just kind of completely take over your life. And I want you to take a step back and be like, hey, we're in control, and this is also how you create more work-life balance. Okay? So having weekly meetings is a complete game changer. We've been doing it for years, and when we don't do it, it dramatically shows through in our relationship, and there's this breakdown of communication. Find yourself becoming more easily agitated with the other person, so it helps in so many different ways. I hope this was super helpful on teaching you how to use the love languages, how to have more desire, connection, and romance in your relationship in easy steps. And again, if you want to take the first steps to working on yourself and then being able to get your partner involved, go in the description, grab your 18-minute daily habits to health and wealth, and get started. I'll talk to you soon.